Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I hope you guys are doing really good. Wow, what a weekend! It's been great. So we're gonna jump into Akai'S and yeah, we have so much to talk about. I loved the VF Direct this morning. I really enjoyed Beat Tribe Cup, though I do have issues with some of the production, or at least with how it rolled out. But I enjoyed that tournament. It was awesome. Let's get the ball rolling here on the Akai'S, and then we're going to join Akai for some chat, so it's going to be a good time. Let's do that. Alright, but I hope everyone's doing really, really well. We have a lot to talk about. Alright. Let's see here. So first let's try to join Akai's room. Why does it look different? There it is. Okay.
500.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Chanchai.
Okay.
Can you speak
Yeah, me too, man.
Alright, is it still pretty quiet? Let me see here. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Yep, the check. My stream could hear you guys too, so that's good.
Excellent.
First off, we actually haven't actually talked on actually in voice, so congratulations again on getting first place at your Fight Kingdom.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Thanks. That was it was a wonderful weekend for me.
And was that your first time meeting Koen Raku?
Yeah, I didn't know Koen Raku was in my region until maybe like a month and a half before Fight Kingdom. And so I once I realized it, I'd been telling him about Fight Kingdom. I had to remind him, like, on the last day of registration, like 2 hours before they closed, that the registration was closing, and I'd really like him to join the tournament. So he checked, and I told him which day the tournament was, because he needed to know the schedule, and it turned out to work out for him when he found out that the tournament would be on Sunday. So yeah, but I think he's now excited to be doing more locals. I think he's going to try to fit that in his schedule. I know that the Seattle players, they normally meet up on Tuesdays. Now they're turning that into tournaments as well, like competitive. So I think they're very excited, and Koen Raku seems very excited for that too.
Yeah, Koen Raku used to be known as Elite on VFTC. I remember him participating when I did those the VF's online circuit for the PS3 and 360 days.
Was he doing the EU one though, or because he's turned EU?
He was already in North America back then.
Was he? Okay, he's just in my region for 4 years, but he's originally from Scotland, so he's originally from Scotland, and so that's why the Scottish players know him. And in fact, he knows Li Ming from China, because Li Ming was studying in Scotland back in the VF4 days.
All right, thanks for that info combo. I'll fix the labels. North America's PSN, the green, and then the team is Europe today.
Ready, go!
Alright, let's go.
But yeah, thanks so much. Fight Kingdom was a really wonderful time. We had a great time on the Friday with the team battle. Then we had just playing lots and lots of VF and hanging out on the Saturday. And then, of course, the tournament on Sunday, which I ran the tournament. I usually don't enjoy running the tournament when I'm competing, but it felt like someone needed to step up to the role when they were finalizing Fight Kingdom, so I did. But the player Sorias, really stepped up to help me out with running the tournament, especially during the top 8. They freed me of all the duties once the top 8 started. So, though,
That's awesome.
But I was hopped up on adrenaline, which helped me in my match though, because of the trying to get all the setups ready for the top 8 broadcast. Because that's like a sudden, okay, we need to go get the setup ready. We're waiting on the Street Fighter 6 PC, and then we're moving it across the ballroom, and because their tournament, their grand final ran a bit not late, but just barely on time. So it finished right before our slotted time for Virtua Fighter. So yeah, normally we would actually have more time. Sorry for the cough on the Discord mic.
Do you remember who put Koraku in the losers bracket?
Yeah, it was LD Wells. I actually might upload that match. It was a really exciting match. I think LD Wells. Actually, LD Wells is a very underrated player. They're really, really strong. The things that make them strong. The reason that they get underrated is because they use the Lei Fei knowledge game like a lot. But the reason it works really well is because LD Wells is actually a pretty good Yomi player. Like if you push him enough, his reads are really good. It's just that it shows up more when he's relaxed, and if he's tense, actually he's still quite strong when he's playing very carefully, and I think that comes from his Tekken experience. But his Yomi is pretty scary. And so there are moments where he's a player that's fun to watch because he'll have clutch moments. And so against Koenraku, actually he was pretty strong against Koenraku. I think Koenraku was struggling with LD Wells' Lei Fei, like their approach, but also all the gambles that LD Wells forces you to play. He forces you to guess. And so I think that was actually tough for Koenraku. But it is beautiful to watch the matches combine. Because Koenraku is learning more and more how to fight this type of Lei Fei approach, and also the Yomi and decision making of LD Wells. So I thought that was fantastic. I might make a video where I show like their pools fight and combine it with their losers finals fight. But yeah, it was really good. Hey, XTN, it's really good to see you. You were awesome at Fight Kingdom. Go ahead.
Is XTN Taka XTN
Yes.
on Steam? Okay.
Yeah, it is XTN. I mean, I say XTN on Steam. They kind of added it as it's his name Christian, but we actually have two players. But we have two players in our scene that have the name Christian that use alternate spellings for Christian. So, so I like to just call it XTN just for that reason.
I thought it was an Asian name here, and but now it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, well, same person. Welcome to the PSN side.
Yeah. I don't know their actual their ethnicity, but I would say that but maybe in their heritage, it's probably, if they were Asian, it would be on like the western side of Asia. So, but
I think he looks more Latino to me.
Yeah, it probably is exactly that. Like I was saying, he's
ask him directly instead of this.
He's Lebanese.
We're having. Yep,
Okay,
told you.
Thank you.
But we're having fun with it because it's fun while it's a mystery, and it's fun to just let him choose when he wants to talk about it. But we're pressuring him now. XTN's awesome. I had fun meeting XTN when he came down to Core Values 6. Back in February, and just like he had to run. Well, he was busy with Tekken, then he had to run. But I'm really glad we had time to catch up and really get to know each other on the weekend last week.
And he's a Seattle group, right?
Seattle, yes, yeah, he's from the Seattle area. Just to clarify, I'm from Portland, so the funny thing about being from Portland is people from political extremes know where you're from, and people that are foodies know where you're from. Everybody else thinks you're from Seattle. So,
That was a nice move.
Very nice.
Jim Heine was asking if you watch. Oh, Beat Tribe. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we watched Beat. I think all three of us watched Beat Tribe Cup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really, really. I enjoyed it. I just have, I'm just sad that the production. There was a really good match in there, Chopper versus Chinpanjay. And at the climax, they cut to the stage, but they never showed the replay either. So we have no idea how that final split second played out. We have no idea how that match closed. It was really tight. It was intense, and then suddenly that happened. So I kind of joked about shooting the producer. But that said,
he was in the waiting room.
Yeah.
I believe it was a 5-3 5-3. So whoever.
Yeah. Well, we know the result. We just don't know like what happened in the fight. That was so cool because it was a really good battle. And so I'm not complaining about the result. I'm complaining about just not seeing a really good moment. But it was a lot. But the matches were excellent. Then of course, because you're running on Evo scheduling and event scheduling, they probably had to constrain some stuff. So it's really unfortunate that the other semifinal, the one that everybody was wanting to watch, was the one that was not on stage. So U.S. Hospital versus Villain Union. I won't say the result because you can say it later, but I'll just say that was the match to watch. That was the rematch of like the real ultimate match from 2 years ago. And
it did show it though. So
well, they showed 2 games of it, but yes, so, on shoulder cam, but yes. So it just wasn't.
I believe it was Chanchai who defeated Chanchai 2 years ago, and then he had to play against 3 people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then the final match was again Tonkatsu against Homestay, so it was kind of deja vu moment.
Yeah, it was so epic too, and that's like. That is definitely the fairy tale. A lot of people would have a cinematic or not sentimental favorite in Villain Union, despite the name, right? Because Homestay Akira is a hero to many, and Tonchan is more the villain, even though he's the hospital. So it's like Big Pharma versus the Union. But anyhow. No, but that was the story from 2 years ago, and of course they get to continue that story this year.
There's a lot of storylines too, like
there was
Tonchan playing against Shiwa.
Yeah,
they've been matching up a lot because they're 2 like the strongest players right now.
The Shiwa series was really awesome. Yeah, and even in the qualifiers, right, or in the wild card, Yogo's run was amazing to watch too. So. Yeah, lots and lots of good stuff.
Something about Shiwa.
Yes.
The way that he handles his learning series, I don't know if you caught that. I thought that was very, very good, very thorough, and very easy. Like, I'm like my Japanese is beginner level.
Yeah.
I could follow along.
No, he's the greatest VF teacher in the world. By none. And I think he's the greatest teacher of all time. I think he's the greatest VF teacher of all time. Even watching his Japanese content, and if you don't understand Japanese, it's fine. You'll learn watching Shiopan. But of course, we've put more translated stuff on virtuafighter.com and other resources. But yeah, Shiopan is definitely the greatest Virtua Fighter teacher of all time at this point, in my view, and also one of the greatest players of all time, still and in general.
So Sue just mentioned for the leagues going on right now, we already started the countdown for both leagues. Europe, we already have like 12 players. And the PSN side, we have 6 players. Plenty of time to still join for both. About 4 more matches before we start both league sessions. Chariot the Gall, it is a league, so we keep record and stuff, but it's meant for people to come in and play. And if you join right now in the Europe, and this is Steam League, there's right now 13 players. You get to play all of everybody, and there's no line waiting once I started. So you could use this to be very competitive, or you just use this to practice. The only thing we just say we want people to do is play on a wire connection and stick to 1 character per league. So after you play in the first league, you can switch a character when you play second or third.
Yeah, so...
And go ahead.
Well, just to clarify what you mean by league, though, is, the league is the whole grouping of matches. So if you got 16 people, that's 15 games. You're going to play 15 in a row with each person in the league. So, so during the league battle, keep the same characters. Once you've seen the full scoreboard that tells you who got first, second, third, then you can switch characters after that. Just because they might misunderstand the difference between a game and a league. So, if it's their first time doing league.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this would be more understandable if they had just used the wording round robin.
Yeah. So league mode is round robin mode, basically. It's wonderful. So once the league battle starts, I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. So welcome to the Akai Leagues.
Rayboy asks, will Akai League be all at once when it's the Xbox, Switch, PS5, Steam? And that is something that we will be discussing and just determine what is best.
Feel free to let... sorry. I was just saying, feel free to let Akai know what you're thinking, because but at the same time, I think it's what Akai's saying is, Akai's still considering the options and what the best route is going forward, but your feedback is valuable.
Mm-hmm. And I saw your feedback, Chanchai, so thank you very much for that.
No problem.
So, beautiful. The two opinions right now that I have is first, whether I'll just keep it back to just one single day for Europe, like it was like before we had before Weibo came out. So Saturday was for Europe, and Sunday will be North America. So just one single league per week. Or I just do this co-stream meeting, which I learned how to do pretty well now. In which basically you could be playing on both Saturdays and Sundays if you're Europe or North America.
If I can interject, I think that it's too early to tell. We have to know how it really actually works. Mm-hmm. But if it works well, I think any kind of discussion should be thought about. But if it doesn't work well, then the format that we have right now is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I think is we're gonna have to see how it goes. Anytime something new, anytime something new launches, it's always good to test, verify, see how it's working, and then make the decision. But I'm pretty sure Kai's going to be having a few plans lined up just in case for whichever route it goes.
I expect the first couple of weeks is going to be a lot of troubleshooting and game freezing and what else.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Totally.
It was like that when the Weibo came out too. So.
Yeah, and that said, these are going to be mini launches. Understand it's a game that's well known that it's been out, so it's not going to... I don't expect it to draw like insane numbers. If anything, some of the numbers that it draws are going to be people that already have the game. But it is going to draw some new people, and it's going to be exciting. But, for example, some of us are going to probably, even if we got a Steam Deck, even if we have it on PS5, we'll still probably get it on Switch too, because why not practice on Switch too? So, so it's going to be interesting.
It'll definitely give us two new audience groups, right? At least with Switch, the Nintendo side, and the Xbox. Which I really feel kind of bad because I don't actually know the latest Xbox system name.
Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. S is the weaker one. But
there's two versions, okay.
Yeah, there's a cheaper model and a bigger model, and then there's a Pro coming out, which is still nuts. But the cheaper model, like every developer has to make it work on that, in addition to making it work on the bigger model.
Okay.
So that's usually a design constraint, but not really for Revo. But that's why you'll see X, S, bar, and then either X or S. Microsoft loves confusing names, right? We go from Xbox to Xbox 360, Xbox 360 to Xbox One, Xbox One to Xbox One Pro, and S, and then Xbox Series X and S, and then now Xbox Series Pro. So go figure.
Well, we all know why they did 360 instead of Xbox 2.
Yeah.
I gotta put a parenthesis on this. I don't know if you.
I don't know the reason.
I've been watching these matches, but they're pretty gnarly.
They are. These are great matches. General Ripper and XTN, always willing to fight, and I love the way they fight. Actually, watching these two fight is great. They both commit in different ways, and I like it. But when you fight XTN's Taka, you do have to deal with this chop. This chop is one of the signatures, but not just that. You're gonna have to deal with anytime you see like Taka like hit you with the knee and stomp, right? Like the 6KK. You have to tech that, and the teching that is hard. Teching it when you get hit down the ground, you have to tech it. Well, not that you have to, but if you do tech it, but if you don't tech it, you're going to eat a stomp. But if you do tech it, he's got a guessing game against you. So you got to tech it, and then you got to play the guessing game immediately. Like the moment you tech, you have to play that guessing game. If you don't do anything, if you just try to guard, he can low throw you. So it's really important when you're fighting modern Revo Taka to understand these guessing games, and XTN is here to really show you the way. So, also understand Taka has different stomps, right? He's got the 6KK. He's got down, is it down kick and guard, up kick and guard, right?
Kick and guard,
And then he's got back kick and guard. Back kick and guard is the really huge one that is plus on block and is a mid. The ones that are lower, he can control whether they go up into the screen or down towards the player. And and the thing is those are really good at ringing people out. Because if you don't defend it or you don't abari it appropriately, if he hits you with it, he can ring you out. It's really good. Like, this is it. This is the directional control. That's the down one. So he just did the down one and then smacked Ripper into the wall, right? That's to help you understand the role of like the ring out. So for example here, after this, he could opt to go to the down one. He can go to either one. He could even do the back one because you're in the corner. And so if this was a ring out stage, this is what makes Taka extra scary on their Okizemi. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all the tech so that people can give XTN a harder time, but so XTN can give everyone a harder time. We're all gonna get stronger together.
One more match for North America, and then we'll start. Actually, I should friend XTN, I can put him the piece in group chat too.
So yeah, and this is what I love about XTN. You know, is they're a person that just wants to get stronger, and making you stronger is part of that process too, because they want better opponents always too. So it's good stuff. They have a very good learning mindset, and they're a very strong competitive Tekken player. And they're a true new generation fighting game player. I believe they've only been playing fighting games since COVID. So
wow.
Yeah, so this is XTN is an example of this new generation that we've seen after during COVID. Some people of different ages have just started playing fighting games during COVID, and kind of fell in love with the genre. You know, just like players that fall in love with speedrunning or people that fall in love with Tetris. You know.
Alright, good luck to Europe. We just started the league room there, 12 players, so that should last about 30 to 40 minutes, and then everyone gets a 10 to 15 minute break so you guys want to continue on. And the North America League should be starting very soon too.
Yeah, and I don't know if we just call them COVID acolytes or what. No, I'm just joking. We're not going to call them that. But,
The 09ers, the pandemics.
Yeah, exactly. But I also do think that XTN's been, just like JThor and XTN and others have been kind of like at the heart now of the current Seattle scene, of just making it more active and more kind of driven, and they create that energy, very homegrown energy, so that more players can like have a consistent place to play and people to practice with. So I think Seattle scene getting a lot stronger too.
Alright, we're going to start the North America side now too now.
Alright, good luck, have fun everybody. And people on my stream, let me know if you can hear my stream, okay? If there's any problem with the sound. Alright, I'll see you guys soon.
Yep, good luck guys, have fun.
Good luck, bro.
Alright, here we are. This is a really fun league though. I'm excited for the news. We got crossplay coming, right? We got crossplay coming. Wolf Hawkfield confirmed, and that actually is a big deal because there was a rumor in Japan during EVO Japan 2023 that I think it was a joke by Chibita that they were going to kill Wolf. So I'm pretty sure that was a joke. But How do you guys like that wolf design? And just another play, great to see you. Avocado meat, thank you very much. I am going to reveal that ball top, and I love it. Thank you so much. Aren't all video games made in Seattle? A lot of games are made in Seattle. A lot are made in Chicago as well. A lot are made in the Vancouver, British Columbia, and a lot are made in Silicon Valley. But there's developers everywhere. Yeah, the wolf design's brutal as F. Yeah, I think so. I like it. I think the thing is, you know, especially nowadays too, right? Wolf is going to be that symbol of masculinity, and wolf has always appealed to like alpha males or people that really look up to the alpha male ideals, whether they were that themselves or not. So I've met many wolf players around the world, and I've consistently said there's usually a type that's like becomes a wolf main, and so it's always been a blast, and I think they got a very nice treat with the new wolf design. All right. Yep. So that said, don't worry too much like about the side throw and side throw escape. If your opponent escapes your side throw, you probably have a small advantage. So the fight still goes on. And also, that's a huge advice for everybody playing VF, is that when the throw escapes happen, that's just the beginning of another fight. So you always gotta fight whether your throw is escaped or you escape their throw. You got to keep fighting. So that fighting could be zoning, it could be being aggressive, it could be just being more safe, but you got to fight. All right, Ripper, here we go. Let's do this. All right. I am not yet used to playing on the PlayStation. I haven't played on PlayStation in like a week, but we'll see. Very nice. I didn't commit, so I got thrown out of a backdash. There we go. 4 PK. Always fun, these battles with Ripper. Always lots of force guessing. I thought I could block, but because I attacked. I didn't attack in time for throw. That was well played. So he just played it very patiently, which was good. That's it. Yeah. Oh, got it. Good game, good game. I was so sure he was going to sidekick, but I got to remember 4 PK. Really good game, Ripper. I had a lot of fun with that. So, we are good. So the good thing is 4 PK, it is punishable. You just got to block it. I wanted the Sabaki kick again, but he kind of knows that too. And so just stick a mid at me when I wake up. It's really strong. It's very, very strong. No, Ripper is a really, really good Kage. They force guesses at all phases, and I love it. And I really like fighting them a lot. It's a lot of fun. Man, that evade does it. Oh, the evade does it. That's good. Good. That's it. Okay, good to know. Alright, here we go.
Round 4. Ready, go!
Yeah, that time doesn't check out.
Round 5. Ready, go!
Alright, good game. It's a low duck. Or 8K, but it's a really good game. Very good game, Setsuna. A lot of fun. Will ranks reset on PSN when the update drops? So, you gotta understand something. This is announced for PS5. It means Revo is a different game. It means Revo is not Ultimate Showdown. Ultimate Showdown's not Revo. So, you will have to get the game again. Yeah. So, Revo is announced for PS5, not for PS4. And Ultimate Showdown is PS4. Yeah, so that's what that means. Yeah. So it's a very now they would probably be the same leaderboards as the PC. So that'll be interesting to see, but maybe not. They might be unique IDs. They're probably going to be unique IDs actually. We'll see. Yeah, full circle. Nice. Okay. I like that. I really like that noodle. That was really good.
Round 3. Ready, go! Round 4. Ready,
Hey, good game. Good game, K1. Good game, Noodle. That was a lot of fun. Keep it up. It's good to play again. It's been a while, so I enjoyed that very, very much. All right, everybody's got a loss. Everyone's got a win. This is a really good league battle here. Got right now Ripper and Noodle tied, so that's excellent. So we got Noodle versus Ripper is going to probably settle who wins this league battle. And then I'm going to fight XTN. So XTN and I are like on very similar score. It'll be a different score depending on who wins their battle. So yeah. Very exciting stuff though. Alright, here we go. Alright, XTN, let's have fun. Let's have a lot of fun here. Whoever wins between Noodle and General Ripper will win the league battle. It's very, very exciting. This is a really fun league. Ripper Kage is really good. He plays a knowledge game. You have to understand that you're guessing almost always against him. There you go. Always remember that. There we go. Guaranteed. Did I actually tech properly here? No. No, that was guaranteed to stomp. I want to see if I can challenge that. Yeah. The 4P guard break is good. Okay, that's because you use tie attacks. You need to, instead of using speed, you need to understand you had advantage, so you need to use mid. That was it. I'm doing league, so I can't do it. Save me breakfast for later, okay?
Round 4. Ready? My time is here.
Nice, I thought I might get that, but no. Alright, very good game, XTN. Very good game. It was a lot of fun battles, and keep it up. Getting stronger and stronger. It's really, really good. Alright, congratulations, Noodle. Really awesome congratulations on that. That was an excellent league battle. Good games. And looks like you guessed correctly when you fought against Ripper. Remember, the thing about guessing games, they go both ways. So you can improve. If you force guessing game against other people, it's really strong. It's really, really strong. However, understand they can reverse it. They can go back against you. So you can double down. When somebody forces you to guess, you can double down on the answer back at them. You know, and so if somebody's playing a very powerful guessing game against you, it's to your interest to sometimes double down on the answer and do something like big to punish it.
Round 2. Ready? Go! Round 3. Ready, go!
Nice. I forgot to jump back into to Discord. Very good. That's the answer. Very good. Let me jump back into Discord.
Round 5. Ready, go! Ring out.
Alright, very good, Battle Ripper. Always really fun stuff. Oh, thank you, Noodle. Thanks for the compliments of my poking. Akai, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Noodle was kind enough to compliment me on my poking. It's like, I do play Leon who has a form of poking, but actually on the Discord, poking was a good topic because there's many ways to look at poking. So everybody in this game is a poker. So, look at Jeffrey, right? The toe kick of doom is like the scariest poke.
Half-Life, right?
Yeah.
It's close to Half-Life.
And Lao is like if you play Lao, you have to like hit confirm every poke. It's nuts. Right? And then Pi is like really disruptive, so it's like another kind of poking. She's got like speed, but also like heavy characters. Because of the way evade works, their strings are really good at punishing evade. Like punishing people that not just evade that attacks. Like evade into attack. If you don't confirm your situation precisely against a heavy character, they can out hit you with their strings. You know, and so it's interesting how the dynamics of this game. Very good.
Alright, Europe still have 4 more matches before it's finished. And basically, Waging Mars is undefeated. Got quite a few people just got one loss.
I like this. Akai, so my hope is that with crossplay, if we get to a point where we're back to league battle, being like maybe region per day, I'm hoping that Akai will start being able to play again more. But I think right now they've got their hands full running the league like for both regions. And I think, and that's why we don't see Akai as much. Could be other reasons. It could be real life reasons too, but I think I would love to see Akai playing in the leagues again. But
yeah, the main reason is running two things simultaneously. It's very difficult to participate, and then sometimes I do have to step out to take care of stuff in the house. So it just seems better just to make sure things run smoothly. Just focus on running the leagues.
Noodle.
But again,
go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. But again, this depends on just we'll find out more. I guess as we get more information and stuff. And to two main things is this: can I actually do it still? One thing's efficiently, and the other is there actually a need to do these leagues, right? So those are usually the two questions I will try to ask myself every time, every quarter, just to figure out what is best interest for myself and also for the community. But yeah, I actually enjoy playing League. That's why I started running these. But being able to get more people to participate and be part of the community is I think is very important too.
100% agree with all that.
Is that an option select, Chanchai?
No, I just evaded and jabbed you into the wall.
No, the knee that you do after the jab.
No, it's just stagger. It's not an option select. That's just more like I know I'm gonna jab you because it was guaranteed, because I saw what I evaded, and so it's just like okay. But you can option select it. I mean, this would be option select, right? But I actually don't option select by default because I really prefer watching. I prefer watching so much more than option selecting it.
Right.
But yeah.
But I crouch. I usually don't crouch, and
I see.
You did the knee at my crouching, like.
Oh, it's because I'm just overcommitted to doing the knee anyways. So.
If you hit me, you do PKP, so.
Huh. I'll have to see the situation again, and yeah, but I didn't intend to option select, but it's cool if one is there. So yeah. I was like, that's the ring out moment. Oh, what were you saying, Akai?
No, let's go. That's fine. Go continue talking.
No. I was just responding to. I didn't know you were. Yeah, go ahead. I was just emoting while fighting.
No problem. We're just like 3 more rounds remaining in the first league for Europe, and so about 6 minutes to 10 minutes, it should open up again for people to get 10 to 15 minute breaks before we start the second league.
Oh, the backdash. That should ring out. Ring out. Yes. So. Yeah, I was also clarifying to Real Noodle that that Revo on console is a new game. It's not going to be Ultimate Showdown on PS4. This is specifically a PS5 release, not a PS4 release. So do understand that you would have to be buying a new game. And I don't know what they'll do about leaderboards. I assume that the leaderboards will be... that there'll be a global leaderboard, but more. I don't think they'll reset it. I think there'll be a global leaderboard you're playing into, but like you'll have a different ID on your other systems. I don't think that they'll be linked. So I think like if you're playing on your Steam account, it's one ID. If you're playing on, so there'll be like inflation on number of accounts, but that's fine in a rank environment. People like more numbers anyways.
Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed like if it's going to be a completely standalone game for the PS5, right? Or if there be an update from to show.
Yeah, they haven't said anything.
So
yeah,
it's
this is all speculation.
Standalone game.
Yeah, we just know there will be crossplay.
Like PS4, but for that seems to be a feature of Steam version of the game. You could join the room while the league is running, and if you just want to sit there and wait, you can spectate. That's one difference between the PSN Ultimate Showdown version of the game and the web version of the game.
Very good game, XTN. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, totally. So we'll see what happens when the game comes out, but I'm excited for it. I'm so happy with that news. I'm really happy with the news that Revo is coming to newer consoles, including Switch 2.
Was that? Were you expecting that?
I was hoping for it, but I wasn't expecting much. I was only expecting maybe getting like production images and like hoping that maybe we'll get a small clip or video. I just wasn't expecting much.
No.
Yeah.
My
I was saying that.
my hopium at this point was just like closed. I was expecting them to say something about the replay, and that was
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
that's my assumption too. Is replay would be shown but Aoki was just giving us like a red herring to distract us that hey, we will have crossplay and Robot Neko for other systems.
But hey, you know how a week ago, Gentleman Thief brought up the idea of of having like a VFNet system, right? Which is similar to Street Fighter 6 doing the amiibo cards on Switch 2. So hey, maybe we'll get Switch 2 amiibo cards for Virtua Fighter. I would love it. I doubt it, but it would be cool. But the thing that would suck would be that feature would just be on Switch 2. I want something that's a feature on all systems, right? Like GT's idea is that your phone app doesn't need to be online, but it would basically with Bluetooth connect to the console and just say, hey, here's my costumes, here's my win record, here's my settings, and that's what we like, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. All the hype for almost no VF6 showing feels like a missed opportunity. No, I think fans look at it as like an opportunity, but trust me, it's like this is still really early on. If they like show a huge hand right now and you still gotta wait like a year and a half for the game, you're not gonna be happy about that either. Right now, the drip feed is really good for them, and it's building up hype. Hype actually thrives on a little information, but not too much information, despite how fans feel. Because the more information you have, the more the fans are going to nitpick which things they like and don't like. So sadly, that's how us humans tend to work. But that said, they gave more information than I expected, so I'm happy about that. And I think they still talk about VF Legacy as a whole series of projects. Of course, that includes the merchandise and the soundtrack. And I thought that was great news because I'm really glad that they're on streaming platforms. Now, every Sega soundtrack is, but I'm glad that extra effort is to be put on streaming platforms. They're trying to get you to play.
Yep. Second, one more match before we start the second league for North America League Wheel. So you got a couple minutes if you want to join. And there's also one mention that Outlaw Beast did give Waging Moss his first loss. So there's now everyone has one loss, and so it's everything's kind of up for grabs now in the Europe League. And then it's going to be a 10 to 15 minutes break before we start the second league for Europe.
Awesome.
Continue, Chanchai.
Oh, keep it up, Europe. So I do love the EU leagues, but I think it's an exciting time. But right now, Revo is part of this gradual campaign into astroturfing to keep Virtua Fighter relevant. It's actually helping content creators to have an opportunity to build themselves up to be a new Virtua Fighter content creator. But at the same time, of course, there's different types of content creator. So there are content creators that are more general fighting game. There's mainstream content creators that like for people that would like to be part of fighting games, but they're doing all kinds of other stuff. They have all kinds of other hobbies, right? And then of course there's us hardcore VF players. So I think all these things are lining up together for that. It is going to be more casual and humble for a bit, but we'll see what happens by the time of the World Championships, or the Open Championships as it's called. And we'll see what happens by the end of the year. But this campaign is going on more than a year.
First Open Championship qualifier is in Combo Breaker at later this month, and we got 240 players sign up for that.
Round 4. Ready, go!
Nope. Luigi Mars got his second loss just now against Impixa. And so that puts actually Outlaw Beast. I wonder if Outlaw Beast goes by any other nickname, takes first place.
And then Rayblade says their prediction is June 5th. That's pretty soon. We'll see. I have no idea what to expect for a time window for release.
Sega does has tendency to age for Virtua Fighter. It kind of gives you quite a quick notice of when the game actually. A short time before.
Yeah, they do have a history of like going like, gotcha, it's coming out soon. It's like, what?
All right, congratulations to Outlaw Beast for taking first place. Himpixa gets second, and Combo Lamas gets third place. All right, thank you guys for playing. We'll do 2 more leagues after this, so if you want to continue playing, stick around. Take a snack, restroom break, stretch. And let me get the league room made for
All right,
North America.
so North America is going to start league. Good luck, have fun.
Good luck,
And we
guys.
got Jinx joining in the room, so awesome.
So avocado meat, yes, Evo is done. The last event was V Tribe Cup, and they had a good time. They had an amazing time. But yeah, Evo Japan is for 2025 is over. All right, here we go, Ripper. Gotta practice the combo for this situation, because this situation happens often. Very good. That was all guaranteed. I like that uppercut. That uppercut totally beat this.
Round 3. Ready? Go!
Man, didn't even know which side I was on. I like that too. Yep, totally owned. These are really fun guessing games though, that we're going for. Very good. I like that position switch. Oh, I was hoping to jab him out of it. Good game, Ripper. Good game. Very, very fun. So, no idea when the update will come out. I have no clue. So, something to explain is that when Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate... So, in Japan, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is called Virtua Fighter Esports. Tokyo Game Show, which was I think October of 2020, is when they teased Virtua Fighter Esports. We had no idea what it was. We knew that Sega was doing something with Virtua Fighter. And that was like the first, remember, Final Showdown came out on console in 2012. So 2020, 8 years later, we get a tease about Virtua Fighter. We would not know what Virtua Fighter Esports is until like the last week of May of 2021, a week before the game was released. So that's what Akai was alluding to, about Sega has this history of springing the release on us out of nowhere. So yeah. I see. Very good. I have to remember that he's going to evade into the ring. Yeah, so...
Round 3. Ready? Go!
Yeah, that's the situation. I always low punch right there. So we're repeating this situation again. I always want to backdash right there too. I've got to fix that.
Ready,
Let's see here.
round 5. Ready, go!
Alright, good game, Setsuna. Where I'm seeing the situations a little better in terms of what's going on here. It's the frequency of the situations, the lack of frequency, right? They're regularly happening, but they're happening like as a full campaign. And so that's good. That's what makes it hard for me to fight Setsuna. They're not like repetitions right away. They're like, it's like, okay, we're gonna go through this. We're gonna go through this very slow dance. And I think I can break away from the dance, but it's gotta be me that breaks that. Yeah, he is very locked in. He shows no mercy. Against me, he plays a slow dance. I think the great thing about Setsuna is he plays with a good type of read. He plays with like a long-term strategic read, and it's very scary. It's very, very scary. And so for me, it's like this, okay, now we're in this spot. Now we're in this situation. And his Akira, his chosen tool set cuts through my options a good amount. Usually I try to cut through other people's options a good amount. He cuts through mine.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Good patience. Good. Very good.
Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout.
Let's see here.
Round 3. Ready,
That thing still surprises me. What the hell? I thought I guarded. That was good. Thought I could low punch in time, but not in time. I was too slow.
4. Ready,
Very good. Nice.
knockout. Round 5. Ready, go! Knockout.
Alright, very good game, Key Blast. Very good game, Noodle. That was so much fun. Lots and lots of fun always. Thank you. It's VF. You can always fight your way out of a paper bag in this game. Comebacks happen all the time, so it's really hard to put people away. It's really, really hard to put people away in this game. So keep it up. Keep it up. It's like, watch me enough times, you'll see me do this over and over. But you'll see it happen to me over and over too. So it's lots of fun.
Round one. Ready, go!
I like that Jinx. So this is really interesting. I'm not used to that move. The situation's very different. So that big kick, that situation is very different. It looks like a forced crouch almost. Now I do like that Jinx is using the foot kicker. So Go has this way of kicking the feet. He can do it at like -7 and it'll beat a lot of basic pokes. Alright, good game, Jinx, good game. And so, like, with Go, you have to be careful about, like, the way that you attack him. I kind of want to use a varied move list against him, because to make it so that he's not comfortable using, like, his reverse Nitaku options. So what's reverse Nitaku options? Things like Sabaki, things that can disrupt elbows and punches, things that can just totally override your offense. And so one way of dealing with it that Leon can do, Leon can mix up his attack types like a lot. He can go like, okay, I've got a punch, I've got a kick, I've got a two-handed punch, I've got a spin kick, I've got a half circular here, I've got a half circular there, I've got a two-handed attack, right? Leon is really good at doing all this, and Leon can also go, I can do high, I can do mid, I can do low. So when I choose to attack, I can do any of these three things. And that can be really strong if somebody's trying to disrupt your offense. Hey Tricky, thank you very much for the raid. I hope you're doing really, really good. Must have been an amazing reaction party and discussion on the VF Direct and discussion about Beat Tribe. I need to rewatch it. So I'm going to be watching the Tricky VOD. And yeah, I hope everyone's having a great time. That's weird. That should have been guaranteed. That should have been guaranteed. The PKP. Just doing PKP should be guaranteed. It's not. Something's changed. It's recovery hit too. There you go. Very nice, very nice. I thought I had guaranteed, but I should just jab. So if you evade the standing kicks, I must have been minus enough because of that first kick. we go. Alright, good game, XTN. Good game. You're gonna get used to this.
What a knucklehead!
Alright, Ripper, congratulations. They win with a +2 margin. Very, very good. Ripper's doing amazing during this league battle. And they're always amazing.
First place, just based on +2 rounds. So whoever gave Chanchai 2 rounds, made him lose 2 rounds. You guys spoiled him.
Ripper was the one to do it. So Ripper earned it completely.
Second, Sessin third. Thank you guys for playing. And we'll do one more league. Excuse me. And then go post around, let people know. And we have one more match before we begin the Europe second league. Yeah, I believe Giplo is from Netherlands, and I think that's. I apologize if I'm getting the names of the countries wrong, but yeah, and Giplo plays on the PSN. I have to ask. Switch this to Steam. We're right now in the third intermission.
Excellent!
Let's see.
Round 2. Ready, go!
And again, if you're a Steam player, like interested in these league sessions, that's not it. Don't use Discord. I do use a Steam. I do have a Steam group to keep people updated. There's a link to that.
Round 3.
Ready,
go!
Let's go. Like after last week's session, Condor is leading the PSN side of North America.
Very nice.
And I think Jan Whipper winning here might have put him close to that point now too, but it's all very close.
Probably it's all really close. I would say, yeah, Ripper is either tied or second probably at this point. But of course there's tiebreakers in there, so depends on but Ripper's got a lot of number 2s as well, I think, so.
11 players, so it'll take about it won't get one buy about 30 to 40 minutes, and there'll be one more league for Europe too.
Yeah, Bigfoot Prof, I do think Wolf looks really good. I like the Wolf design. I think it looks really cool. It's not like my traditional style, but I think it serves really well. I think a lot of people are excited about this kind of Wolf. And did anybody notice the tattoos? In the tattoos, there's something special in Wolf's on Wolf's chest. Has anybody noticed it?
I think it's swirls. I don't think it's a 6.
It's not a 6.
It's not. Oh, okay.
His other chest was a block of it, but it also
okay.
Similar symbol.
I see.
In my opinion.
So it's not a J6. It's just someone saying that looks kind of like a J6.
By the way, I have to step out. I need to make a call. I forgot. Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
No problem. Yeah, a lot of people have been commenting how he looks like Ganondorf, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, he looks like Ganon from Zelda. Yeah, from some versions of Ganon. Well, Ganon has looked different in many different versions of the game, but he looks a lot like the Smash Brothers one, which I think is based on N64's Ocarina of Time. But yeah.
Okay.
But he does look a lot like that. But look, he looks like Akuma in some versions of Akuma as well. Then,
yeah.
so
Me and Sussin was joking how they were trying to get on the good side of Nintendo as they're now releasing the game on Switch.
I see.
Nintendo.
I don't know if Nintendo would like it if it was like that though. So I think they control their properties pretty good. But yeah, no, he it is kind of funny because then I'm like, well, I guess he's kind of, to me it's like the ethnicity looks a little different now, but you know, then again, the ethnicity before looked kind of funny anyhow. So
You look Scottish, like
I was thinking something like that too. I was thinking along those lines.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
That's from that region.
I feel like he's from like some northern European country. Is what he looks like to me.
But you know, one thing their specific mission via Direct was that how they're going to put more time in the background within the game.
Yeah.
And it was mentioned origin story, so we were getting the origins of these characters. But it sounds like they're changing Ruth's storyline because
Yeah. I think they're putting a story focus, right? They're using RGG Studios now expertise in doing narratives, right? So it looks like they really want to push, and that story's going to be a big part of this game is what they're suggesting, and I think that's exciting.
They mentioned like how they're going to make him a heel.
Yeah, I don't know the original term, but I think that's like when somebody turns in, like it does a heel turn, they turn into a bad guy. They go from being the hero to being the villain. I think that's what it means. But chat, please explain to Kai and I, because we are very WWE ignorant. So we're very pro wrestling ignorant. Yeah.
It's a term that's used in
Yeah, like John Cena is like, I think that's like his arc was that he became the bad guy, from being like the good guy. And I think like The Rock has had these moments too.
Well, the storyline for Wolf was pretty much that he's like a rival against Akira, but he's generally considered like a good guy. That has some type of foretelling ability of bad things that happen, if I remember correctly.
So face equals good guy, heel equals villain. I'm not sure how that translates, but yeah. But I think that's the progression is what they meant, but they used an equal sign.
And the way they were introducing him, he introduced him as that state was the pack. So there's going like some other players that was part of his pack before he became this what they were referring to as a lone wolf. Yeah, so at least that's how they were introducing him in that trailer.
Oh, I see. So Firebird was saying face means the good guy, heel means the villain. Okay, so face equals the good guy, and then the heel is the villain. Okay. So the face of the WWE, and then the heel of the WWE, for example. That's what.
Alright, we're starting the countdown now for your care. 4 more measures before we end it. I mean, not end it, to start the third league. But again, yeah, B-Tribe completed this end of this earlier today, or late Sunday for those who live in Asia. Team winner was a U.S. hospital. First time for the Kyushu region players from southern Japan. I thought it was a pretty good story because I remember that interview they had 20 years ago, not 20 years ago, about 10 years ago for the 20th anniversary of Virtua Fighter. And we shot Mari Kome, Chanchai was at that interview. And basically, Malcolm, we translate it as Malcolm X, but I see it as just Mari Kome. I'm not sure which one is true in that, but I'll just call him Mari Kome now. basically say, Kyushu region has never won a Beach Ride Cup. And they got close, like always second place. And then Mario Kome was the one who basically won the last 4 matches of the final to get Kyushu their first Beach Ride Cup title. And so I thought that was a pretty nice storyline to tie it. Okay. Hey, Trador's here. Awesome. Welcome, Trador.
We're gonna take a break so that others can fight and J-Thor can get some more practice time in. So, moving the line. Yeah, Firebird said, yeah, we got a WoW reference now, and I was too busy memeing about the Ganon thing that I missed the Wolfpack joke right there. VF6 New Wolf Order, NWO. Okay. NWO is another wrestling federation at one point. I think it was bought by, I don't know. There's too many organizations that I've seen over the history, so yeah. But WCW was, yeah. NWO is a team, right? New World Order is a team. Anyways. And then we got the pack on your chat. People are talking about the pack. Maybe the pack was Jeffrey and Taka and Wolf.
No Blaze.
Yeah. But fun wrestling fact, right? The pro wrestler, what's her name again? What's the female wrestler's name? It's not Azusa, right? It's like I forgot her name, but she did a lot of motion capture. The one who does like give me both.
The Japanese.
Yeah, she did a lot of motion capture for Virtua Fighter, including Eileen.
Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka.
And Marco says on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, so yeah, Asuka is it. Yeah, Asuka, she did a lot of motion capture for Virtua Fighter 5. Probably for Final Showdown, I'm pretty sure. So when we're watching this beautiful animation in Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, we have to give her a lot of credit. And I'm pretty sure she even did El Blaze, right? So, some of El Blaze.
Most of the wrestling moves. A lot of the wrestling moves.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are using a newer team, I think, for the animation. If we remember, 2021 was when they did retire, or they did end the contract with the one doing Final Showdown. That said, when they do that, you never know. Maybe that was like, maybe they still contract with them, but they don't say that the renewal contract part, because it's a secret project at that point. But I know 2021, that was when it looked like they parted. They finished the contract.
So, yeah. What's funny? That character tease at the very end of that VF Direct
can be anyone.
Everyone is assuming that this is the character that is part of the new VF project.
Yeah.
What if it was just another red herring, which is actually a new character for Web?
It could be.
That they will later on add to the new VF project. That's kind of like how they did Street Fighter 5. They released, is it Steve, his name?
It turns out it's the training dummy in the training mode.
How they released Luke at the very end of Street Fighter 5, but then he became basically a character for Street Fighter 6.
Could be. I know, like a lot of people's first instinct is it's Brad because it's doing boxing type. It's doing punching like a boxer, and then some people looking closely, I think it might be more like Jackie. Then there's the man bun part, and we're like, well, or not the man bun. It could be man bun, but it could just be that the hat that you wear in old Chinese films, certain regions. So who knows? It could be a guest appearance. It could be Doral. It could be the new Doral. But I do think it's a cool lead-in for the new Direct. I agree with Rayblade. It's a lead-in for the next Direct. I'm hoping the next Direct is Combo Breaker. I'm sure everybody wishes that the next Direct will be at Combo Breaker, but I don't know if that's really the case. I think they're just saying, we'll see you at Combo Breaker.
They might release some new information, but I'm thinking it's most like going to be like first season. is my guess. So
Yeah, I'm expecting directs to be seasonal, not to be like this frequent, but it would be cool if they were. It'd be awesome if
but
they.
they'll release information, just like we got information about replay mode coming up, right?
Yeah.
And that was not even mentioned in this VF Direct. But then again, I wonder which one actually was done first. Was the video done before the replay mode was even started working?
Probably. I mean, yeah. The replay is something that
This is
they.
all pre-recorded stuff, so we don't know exactly when they all this.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know the flow of all this, but
And yes, it was
that's a
highly
good point.
produced because it is go in many different languages. So there has been quite a bit of proofreading this year. At least I hope they do a lot of proofreading.
I'm very sure they do. It looked it looked well translated. So.
But they did have to do a last minute fix of the Eastern Standard Time versus the Eastern Daylight Time. So who knows?
Yeah. Oh, that's more of the social media account, right? And sometimes you're doing like a mass bulk send out. So yeah, but that definitely caused funny speculation. Some players were just like, "What, are they canceling the direct?" And I was like, "I don't think it's that." Once these things are set in motion,
That was weird.
yeah, it's weird when people speculate that, and you're like, "No," like, if there's a direct happening, there's a direct
This
happening.
is the last match before we start the last league for North America. Any last minute people want to join? This is the time to do so. Marco does ask a question here. Are there characters who don't get minus frames after being blocked? All characters have certain frames in which they are an advantage. I think that's the type of question you ask.
Yeah, I think most characters have. There's not many attacks that are plus on block in VF, and so usually you could memorize like the 1 or 2 or 3. One of them always being high jab. High jab is +2 on block, but most characters have only a little. However, if you're in side turn, some moves can become plus on block, and if your opponent is side turned and you strike them and they block, some of those moves that can happen. But also, if you make contact with a late,
that are -1, -2, that are gonna flip the script.
yeah.
Yeah, some moves have fast recovery time too, so it could feel like you're just not reacting fast enough. Also,
Yeah, but
low punch and standing jab. Well, standing jab is plus on block, but low jab and block, it's a very fast recovery compared to other stuff, and so you might assume that they might have advantage, but it could just be that you're not reacting in time.
Yeah, and a funny detail too is a lot of strings are minus on block, but the fact that they can be, that they have a string follow-up is what changes the property.
Yeah,
and this
string follow-up also is
and this is really important to understand because it means that like when you block a string, if you try to evade right away, it's probably bad. Like you need to delay your evade if you're going to try to do that. If you try to evade right away, it's like automatic fail because you're plus. The opponent who is doing the string is minus. So until they hit the button.
So about attack strings, if you try to attack someone while they're doing it and someone's in their attack string, most of the time you get beaten out.
Yeah.
There is a special property about attack strings and the stun property. I actually haven't posted this yet, but
yes.
If your opponent does an attack string if the opponent does an attack string, it changes your stun property that you have, your block stun property.
Yes.
It's hard to explain it until you have a diagram or animation to show it.
I'm looking forward to that post.
You might be like 30 frames just a stun block animation, but if your opponent does an attack string,
it cuts it.
Changes the properties of that block string. So that's why I think you have issues with like evading or like doing certain things because it does mess up what our knowledge of is on when you evade or not evade and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right.
String. Good luck. Have fun.
Yep. Good luck. Have fun, guys. Last league for.
All right. That was really fun stuff. Gaiden, I'm glad that you refollowed. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad that you're following now. So thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. How's the sound for everyone? Is it sounding good?
Ready, go!
Thank you so much, Gaiden. Alright, let's see here. The main thing I want to do is not guard when he does that charge attack. I see.
Round 4. Ready, go!
Very good. No more shenanigans. Alright. Trying so hard to remind myself just do a lot of mid attacks. So try not to get crushed. Try not to get crushed, but it's still scary. If he gets in the evade, I get hit pretty hard. Like, that's why it gets scary to do the bids too. Good game, Setsuna. Thank you so much always. Teaching me so much about myself and having to learn more about you. It's the joys of rivalry. I'm really glad to hear that the sound is doing great. Awesome, Gaiden. I know that you don't talk much, but I really appreciate you getting involved with the VF Direct chat today. Please do. It helps. Sega does read that stuff. Sega reads that more than anything I say. They read how people respond to the Directs. This whole week, they're going to be watching all the reactions to the Direct, and that's when they're actually listening to players probably the most. That's my speculation, but from judging from the way they've acted and what they responded to, that is the number one thing they respond. They don't check my streams much. They check the reactions to the Direct video, to the Direct. So definitely let your voice be heard, your enthusiasm and your pains too. That's when Sega listens, right? They're not always listening, but they listen at very key spots.
Round 2. Ready, go!
Very nice.
Round 3. Ready, go!
Alright, good game, Jathar. I'm always trying to watch out for you, and something I tried really hard to remind myself is to watch out for string follow-up. So, good stuff. Thanks for the battle. I got to work on quite a bit with that too. Good game. Now, something that I do is that low rising attack. I'm +3 if it hits you. So you got to be very mindful that I'm very likely I'm going to do an uppercut. So what do you do about, if I do low rising attack and I hit you with the low rising attack, and I'm doing the uppercut, I want you to know that it's basically, you're evading on the 3rd frame, -3. So consider, like, if you were to evade, you would be evading early. So if I do a low rising attack into uppercut, the weakness for that is actually, one weakness, you guard the uppercut and you do Nitaku. Not Lao's best game. Another option, if you're really sure I'm going to go for that uppercut, when you get hit by that low rising attack, evade. Buffer and evade. Lao will sidestep the uppercut and you will be able to at least PK into stance. You might be able to force 6P. But I would bet on the PK. The PK at least is guaranteed. So evade into punch kick, into PK, into like Koke, and threaten a Koke game from the side, which is very powerful. So you can also probably 3 PPK, but that might not be fast enough. But yeah. So evade into PK. If you evade something big, you can do 4-6P. That's awesome. But if you evade something smaller, or more medium, then for sure PK works, but you can experiment. You can try doing the really big stuff. If you do a mid attack though, it's always solid because they can't do it, like they have to evade, they have to defend if you do a mid attack. The problem with PK and the problem with 4-6P is if you're wrong, they can low punch you out of that, right? They can crush the high. So yeah, but evade PK is what I would do there, and then build from there. You could do evade P 4PP, right? Punch, back punch, punch. That's a pum pum pum. It works, yeah.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Very good, very good.
Round 2. Ready, go!
There we go. This is Leon's ability to ring out. And that's an EX high. Actually, that one wasn't, but... Got a fuzzy guard there. You gotta hold hold 4 and then do punch kick. Alright. Good battle, Noodle. Thank you very much. Wolf's new move, Gerudo Valley Driver. I need to look that up. Crossplay, I'm excited for crossplay. I won't be 27th definite anymore. It's all good, Bigfoot Prof. Good. It's all good, Professor. All good. Awesome, Kyle Versatile jumped in here. Alright, I got the evade. Very good. Maybe I evade. Might be delayed. It's good. There we go. Alright, Ripper.
Round 3. Ready, go! Round 4. Ready, go!
Good game. Good game. That was an excellent call. He predicted it. He called it out. Very good game. Boom, boom, boom. That was a lot of fun, Ripper. Always fun. Very nice. I think they got the. Yeah. XTN took down Setsuna. I think. Yeah. Really, really good battle. Alright, here we go. XTN, this is an exciting battle. Whoever wins between XTN and I is going to win the league battle. And XTN played that fantastic. Played really, really good. They wrung Setsuna out really well.
Round 1. Ready,
Very good.
Round 2. Ready, go! Excellent. Round 3. Ready, go!
Very good delay.
Round 4. Ready,
Way too risky to go for throw. They want to ring out. So what they want to do is they want to do half circle back throw to ring me out through the fence, which was a good plan, but it's too desperate there. You need to set it up. Like when your life is that low, you want to wait for your opponent to be in recovery frames. You want them to whiff, and then you do the throw. It's true that their chance of escaping is higher, but right now in the neutral, them mashing, just like when I tried to throw them when my life was low, they beat me, right? The first round, they hit me out of trying to throw because throw is just too risky, and I went for it. You better have a really good read if you're not going to use a throw that's pretty guaranteed. So, same thing right there. But the idea is right. The idea is really correct. So what they do want to do is they want to fight in a way to where, okay, when I get a guaranteed throw, I might go for the throw because if he doesn't escape back, I'm going to bring him out. That was the play. Yeah, very good game. Good battles. That was very intense battles. Thank you very, very much. And congratulations on second, XTN. That was an intense battle, too. So, good stuff.
Alright, sorry, I hit this guy back. Congratulations, Chanchai for getting first, XDN second, and Jan Whipper third. Thanks again, everyone, for playing.
Yeah. On the...
Everyone,
oh, go ahead, please.
everyone just want to continue playing in the room, please do so. But that concludes the league from
I think in the future for League, it's not a bad idea to have a minimum delay setting. But yeah. Let's see. Hey, good games, XTN. Thank you so much. I feel stability when I play on US. When I play on Steam, it can be different experiences, but generally, it's like I like it. I like it a lot, but you know, depends on what you're dealing with. But Akai, what were you guys talking about in your discussion when talking about?
X-Team was mentioning how PSN feels crazy different for him, and I was just sharing my opinion that how I feel even with good connections between Steam version of the game and the delay-based PSN. There's always seems to be like a balance between visual accuracy and control accuracy.
Yeah.
And I think the benefit of the Steam is that you have better control accuracy because you can change the settings and everything. And I actually prefer that more.
It's one way to look at it. I mean, for me, I've experienced I've played on a few different setups now, and sometimes I question myself on the buffer more often than not when I play on Steam. So but I'm enjoying it. And I adjust to everything that I fight on. But sometimes I'm like, interesting how that happens there. But yeah, but I think it's up to the setup itself, And but I've been playing at locals quite a bit, so I play on a few different things. But at locals we play on both PSN on PlayStation 4 Pro, as well as on PC. So depends, yeah. Of course, if you're on a really strong machine, in theory, it's really good as long as the USBs are not dealing with interference, But I've dealt with USB interference too, like more on PC than on console. So it's interesting. But definitely, I think overall though, Revo is a really great experience and is generally the preferred, and I'd agree with that too. But I definitely feel stable when I'm playing on console too. So it's just a matter of just adjusting to the console environment for the moment, and then okay, and then it's like, but I know exactly what to expect. So it's a trade-off for me.
Like if you didn't know better, like some people even say they like. PlayStation is so good because they don't see those choppiness of the animation, and when they're playing against people from different continents, but they're just not familiar enough with the game system that which they didn't know that the delay input is quite large.
Yeah,
though the game was very smooth.
Right. Because US is using a delay-based netcode. I mean, we're not sure what even to expect with Revo's console netcode, right? Because it's a rollback netcode on console, on Virtua Fighter, on this game. on Revo anyways. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm optimistic, especially on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. But we'll see what happens on the Xbox Series S, because I love how portable the Xbox Series S is as a console. But I don't have one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Do you guys have the Xbox Series X?
No, I just have an Xbox One. So.
And
I have a
Xbox
PS5 and a Pro.
Xbox One would be the equivalent of a PlayStation 4.
The Xbox Series S, yeah, I mean, depends on the game. Street Fighter 6 ends up being kind of like the PS4 Pro like version on the Xbox Series S, whereas the Xbox Series X is like playing on a PS5. Yeah. But it really depends on the game, right? I like your use of delay, Setsuna. I like your improving use of delay. Nice conversion. I like it.
Alright, we still have could still do one more league for Europe if you guys want to play. So once we get at least 4 players, we'll win the league.
Round 3. Ready, go! Round 4. Ready, go!
I do know some people prefer the PlayStation delay-based netcode over the level. So, yeah, it's a preference thing, I guess.
Yeah, I prefer. Well, it's like I prefer Revo, but I really like playing on the delay-based netcode because it's consistent. So it's trade-offs always for sure for me, and I like playing on both. Everyone knows that though, and
Yeah, I enjoy playing against everyone in the room because we have very good connection with each other. So it's, the rollback netcode really doesn't improve it that significantly between our matches. At least for me, I feel.
what I do like, I do think what we are observing is that with the rollback, the good thing is that the confidence of developing players is higher on the speed, and so that's got. I think that has contributed to this Revo generation of players playing the game at like the fast VF speed, knowing like full confidence they can do that, right? Whereas I think players that are playing on delay-based netcode, if you already know that Virtua Fighter you're supposed to be buffering like this, then you do it, right? But if you didn't know that, it might be harder to know. It might be harder to know that how fast you're really supposed to play this game, and I think we're kind of seeing that on Revo. But at the same time, the guessing component of Virtua Fighter has always been a strong component of this game, and I think like when you play on delay-based netcode, you learn really how powerful forcing guesses is and how core it is, and ultimately it is one of the biggest things in this game. I think if you don't realize the guessing and you try to play this game too much on reaction, you don't realize how much your opponent is forcing you into guesses. And so it's been interesting watching the different generations of player and what the teaching challenge has been for different players. But look at like Key Blast here, right? Noodle, and watch how like they mainly play on PlayStation. They also play on PC, but they play a high speed game. They play a very reactive game. So they contradict what I just said, right?
Yeah, at least with the rollback netcode, it is still listed as beta. So hopefully, if everyone provides feedback, and IOP and company can take those feedback to try to make it better. But I do think that the reason why they're making everyone stick to the same delay settings is because when two players are using different delay settings, it does create more sluggish play. At least that's based on some testing that I did with people. Usually, they were focused on the same delay setting and focused on different delay settings. So, for example, if I was on delay setting 3 and my opponent was on delay setting 3, it feels pretty good. But if I was on delay setting 3 and my opponent put on delay setting 5 or delay setting 1 on his end, it felt a little bit more sluggish on my side.
So Noodle, fun reminder. Do you remember that Leon's 2K, the first kick, ignores EX high? If you're wondering why that kick hit you. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Akai.
Oh no, I think I finished my thought. But we're still looking for at least one more player for the Europe Steam League to do one more league. I think someone has said they will be joining, so we will have 4. And once that, we'll just do a abbreviate countdown before we start their league.
Oh, you know what? Oh no, it's only 4-year anniversary. It's not 5-year anniversary. You know what? Revo on console is going to come out 2026 because of the 5-year anniversary of Ultimate Showdown. Just kidding. Sega's like always like obsessed with these dates, so it's like okay.
If they're releasing the game out for so many different systems, still, I expect that they'll be supporting. Well, we already know they're going to be supporting Level to 2026 because that's when the grand finale happens. But it seems like it's going to be even more years than that. They're going to be going multiple platforms. We'll see. Hey, thanks for joining, Goofy. We got 4 players now, so let me go do a abbreviated countdown of 3 matches before we start the last league of the day for Europe.
By the way, Noodle, you're in for a treat. Combo Expert has a very nice Lao. They're playing Patient and Studying right now, but I really like fighting their Lao always. So ATEF Revo is on new gen, so it is a new release. It is not an upgrade to Ultimate Showdown. It is its own release for PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and Switch. I'm gonna let Combo Expert have more fights in this.
Oh, Combo Expert join. Hey, welcome.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have Combo Expert here, so I'm excited for them to get more matches in. So we're gonna fight here. Very nice. You got this. We're sharpening you back up, my friend. I love fighting you always. Very nice. Position switch with neutral is always good. Lao's neutral throw is really good. Very nice. Yes, use the guard break. Someone's playing defensive, use that guard break. Ring him out.
Okay, let's go training back, Busty. I do want to, I don't know about Pikachu again. The timing of the announcement about the BF Direct and everything, I think it did kind of overshadow the awesomeness of Detroit. But we already highlighted the U.S. hospital team. And one thing about these teams, again, these are teams that formed for a very long time, the relationship between these players. Like, this was before Chanchai was considered the best or strongest player in the arcades. And I would say sticking to the same team. But the team was like Mari Kome would have been considered the famous player back then because he was a former star player during the 5 Showdown days. I do want to highlight, for example, Chanchai was mentioning the rematch between Team Villain Union and the U.S. Hospital. There's also I want to highlight the Abare Uma ranch team. That's the team with Shiro, the Jackie player. Back when Shiro won the first official tournament ran by Sega for Ultimate Showdown Esports, I think they call it the preseason. He mentioned how he got into VF or was invited to be part of the team of Abare Uma, and that's how he started his B-Tribe experience. And he's been sticking to that same team since. And if you watch the match, he basically was the one who helped them get to basically second place finish. There's a lot of nice storyline if you follow the scene, and it's not just basically who is the strongest players and everything. There's actually like what the name of the association that made the B-Tribe, VFR, Virtual Fighter Relationship, B-Tribe, the tribe of the players that you play with.
100%.
That when they do B-Tribe, some players do form like star-studded team to make sure they win B-Tribe.
Yeah.
But a lot of the teams that do show up is teams that consistently, are the people they play with and grew up with. And it's kind of, you see some of the players are much older, like they brought some of the younger players with them, and now the younger players are the one who's basically the star of the team.
100%. And I'm really happy that that Evo honored the leader of VFR. Yeah. How do you pronounce his name again?
Yamagishi.
Yamagishi, yeah. So Yamagishi, who is in charge of VFR, right, Virtual Fighter Relation, and basically has been running B-Tribe Cup. Did they run it during Athena Cup, or?
Yeah, he was the one who did Athena Cups too. Yes.
Yeah.
The Athena Cup is basically the name of the events before it changed over to B-Tribe. B-Tribe name started up with I think with Virtua Fighter 4. Right? It used to turn the century. I don't think Virtua Fighter 3 was considered B-Tribe events, right? Let me go check that out. Hey, who's joined the room? Hey, there's 6 people in the room. Do you guys just want me to just hit the league button so you guys can play? That doesn't count.
We can do that, yeah. I think Combo Expert would love it too, because it's so good to have you back, Combo Expert. It's good to have you playing. It's always fun, and we're gonna sharpen you back up, my friend. We know how sharp you are, so this is great.
Yeah, you can play AFK, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure that people don't have to wait long for the matches, so
And thank you for the follow. Mighty Solrak, thank you for the follow. X-Guiden, thank you for the refollow. And again, Tricky, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. And yeah, B-Tribe has a lot of great stories. Not just the top players, but all of them. I love also... I'm glad that we got to watch Chopper and Chopper Kovajiro. It's a wonderful team. A lot of those guys are from Nagoya, and and really strong. I'm glad that they had a very strong presence in the tournament too. And do you know the full story for Yogo and the Korean team? Can you explain that story for me?
Yogo was not planning to participate this B-Tribe.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure the story, but they divide up that usually it's the team that the Yoko is part of is Pinky Max.
Okay.
Pinky is the one who usually is part of the team.
Right.
Kumiko is part of it and everything. But it looks like they divided the two teams. The Tokai region, there's a team from the Tokai region. Let me just get the start for the Europe first.
Okay, yes. All right.
5 players. Lastly, thanks for joining back M Saber and Wesley Tachikoma, and thanks for playing Goofy so that we could get the third league going.
So for people following Chanchai,
I guess they also know each other. I think one of the players is Korean who lives in Japan, and so there's a connection there to make basically a strong Korean Kage player with a strong Japanese Kage player to team up. I think at least two of the players was from Korea, and so they actually again usually the team name is Pinky Max. I don't think Pinky has participated this time. And so they name it Korea Max. It's the team name that Yogo is part of. It's Miko-chan and Crazy Dong Pao. I think Crazy Dong Pao is the one who is using Kage.
Yeah, Crazy Dong Pao has always been a consistent, strong player in Tekken and Virtua Fighter. And they have a Tekken lever named after them. It's popular for Mishima players. Yeah. The crown Crazy Dong Pao lever it's like the price of a Sanwa. It's like less than $30, but it's like the most affordable lever that's really good if you like to play like the Mishima characters.
But I think one awesome thing about this speed trap is that there are so many more teams that were I think had the most overseas team, so foreign players coming. I think because of Evo Japan also games, and because of the pandemic, they allowed, and because Ultimate Showdown became an esports title or whatever, they allowed a new category which you don't have to basically have three of the players associate with the region of Japan. And so they had the other category. Like, there was not many people who was under other category until 2023. This year, I think there were like over 20 teams that was listed as other category. So usually they always associate that team with a specific region in Japan.
Nice.
Just to reinforce the idea of people playing together from the regions. And also this year, the top 16 teams, we got like some of the really long-time veteran players getting back to the spotlight, the red carpet. The team that had Maru and Goro, like their team name was the 3-time champions. So they had won the Athenian Cup stuff like 3 times already. And so I think Goro said it has been like 19 or 20 years since they were actually got back to the red carpet. So it was just nice to see that they were able to do that. And then there was the Shu and Kiasao and Chipita team, kind of representing the original group of players that started with the Athena Cups.
Did Chipita make it?
Huh?
Did Chibita make it? He wasn't there for the opening ceremony.
Was he even there?
Yeah, like he was on that he was on the 3 Legends team, but like only 4 of them were doing the catwalk. So it's like I was like, dude, I thought Chibita was gonna do.
We don't ask Chibita what he's doing.
Yeah, I thought Chibita was gonna make like a special entrance.
I thought Chibita was with part of the Athena game Athena.
Were they? Oh, okay. Huh.
The 3-star champion team.
Yeah.
That top 16 team.
Yeah, the 3 Legends or 3-star champion team.
The 3-time champion team. That is Game Center Arashi.
Yeah.
Burin Maru, Goro, Yoro Kage, and Hanebi Lei. Chibita is on the GameSpot Athena team that has Sancha Akia, Amalao, Shu, and Kiasao. So,
sad news, Akai. The North American League battle, of course it's unofficial, it's crashed. I think Noodle says that they have been stuck in the lobby menu this whole time.
I think I had to kick you out. We could just kick you out and then
restart
again. Yeah. Since it's not in the league match, just join back in. We'll just do it again. Just give people matches. Hey, does Real Noodle want to join back in? Let me wait for him and we'll hit the league button.
Yep, Noodle's gonna join back in.
Okay.
And King Death Cradle, welcome. It's good to have you here, my friend. KDC is now going to be training more with us in the VF scene in Portland because they've now moved closer to Portland. They moved in Portland now, so we're happy. Noodle, are you joining us? Where are you at, my friend? Are you having trouble joining the room, Noodle?
I think I'm going to take the time to go see a patient.
Okay, sounds good. So,
I will catch whoever's playing later. But thank you guys for the leagues, Akai, of course. But yeah, fantastic matches.
Yeah.
Really good
Always being
games.
Support of this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Take care of your patient. Take care of the
part
patient.
my crew or tribe.
So,
Look, don't get me started.
yeah.
Don't get me started.
Alright. So King Death Cradle, Real Noodle, like their game crashed. That's why your battle didn't start. So, but
It hasn't
we,
happened in a long time with the PSL.
yeah,
It's been a long time
we
since
see it more. We see it on Steam quite a bit, but we don't see it here much. So, yeah. They're unifying the experiences. Just kidding.
Has the game been crashing for you still? Your league rooms still been crashing for people?
Not that much. It's less.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since in the last month or two. It's been a lot less.
Yeah, I think it's been improving for sure. Well, it's definitely been improving, but yeah.
By the way, Chanchai, I've been on the flash taps, and I think it's failing me for mashing.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that it's tough for mashing.
It's weird. I think I probably need to just glide my hand over the buttons.
You do. You have to change your technique, otherwise you're gonna hurt your hand. You're gonna hurt like the tendons in your hand if you try to slap these things. Like they're amazing for tapping.
I was trying to press them.
Yeah, but like
There
just
is
brushing.
no feedback for when they're actually actuating.
Really, on the flash taps, there's not. Okay. On the blaze, there's a little feedback. So.
Okay, so
Well,
it's similar to this, right? The punk work.
yeah, the blaze is similar, but the blaze it feels like you're pressing drum pads though.
Yeah, this just kind of feels like it smooths out, but there's an audible like little click, and you can feel it if you feel really hard for it.
Yeah.
But if you're like frantically trying to do something, it's hard.
So I do recommend people try the flash taps or blaze, but I personally still love Crown 202 more. But flash taps are really fast. They're going to be immediately fast. Like they're insanely fast. It changes your left right hand timing. Like you have to adjust your left and right hand timing. So.
And then for a different game, I would think they would be pretty good. I'm gonna change the caps on it, so hopefully that solves some issues. But
yeah,
we'll see.
So these are newer generation buttons that are an innovative design. Japanese players. This is the one that like Tokido was involved with, I think. The flash
Tokido is one frame.
Okay, so the one frame is the Tokido, okay. And the one frame's using mouse buttons, right? It's like basically using the mouse switches.
It's a mouse switch.
Yeah. But basically the idea is to try to minimize the throw. So these buttons, like when you see them, they're really flat. They're really low. And you basically, you tap them like a drum. Well, for me, the blaze buttons, you tap them like drum pads. And you kind of just brush your finger on them. And I definitely can do Akira's knee way more on them, actually. Like, that's for sure. I just personally didn't like them as much because I felt like, I'm just comfortable with what I'm comfortable with. And I like the Crown 202. I like traditional arcade buttons a little more, that's all. But I also would say that a lot of people are going to say these are their favorites for sure. But
I can see it for 2D games. They're definitely improving my reaction time to get to 0 to get to that button hit.
Yeah.
So not a bad thing, but I don't know. I hadn't realized just how much I used the travel of the button.
This is a good match. I need to teach KDC like the nuances of. Like, if your opponent's doing 2G, I think Wolf wants to do 4K in the throw. Right? 3P is for counter hits, but 4K is for crouch hit. So, like, and Wolf has to do that. Like, he has to split the duty of his elbow into 3 different moves. He's got his screw hook, which is like, you want to knock someone down with it, with a fast mid. But he's got, like, 3P, which you use when you're going to counter hit, but it's not that good against crouch. But you do 4K against crouch, and that's really strong.
Well, and then your crouch stagger tool is your 3-3P, right?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah, I've had Shang use it versus me a number of times. All right, guys. I will talk to you later.
all right, talk to you later.
Cheers.
Yes. All right. So, what were you talking about, Akai? Was it we were talking about V Tribe Cup history? I want more story times with Akai. Okay. There we go. Alright, so this is where we have fun with the lows here. And then we start doing this. Very nice. Very good. Good. Very nice. So Combo Expert's going to do the defense thing, and this is going to be good training. Here we go, Combo Expert. Let's do it. King Death Cradle, I'm really happy for the internet upgrade for you. That's wonderful news. Very good, very good. Very nice. So I like Combo Expert now using the patience, practicing kind of the defense I was using earlier against him, so it's really good.
I'm muting myself while I explain certain things, so I'll say it later on. But first, congratulations to Waging Mar for getting first, and Pixel second, and King Han getting third. Thank you guys for playing. That's it for Europe. If you guys want to continue playing in the room, please do so. That's that. But earlier, I was actually explaining to you, we were talking about Athena Cup and the B-Tri Cup. And so I had to go double check the notes. But it looks like they changed the name to B-Tri at the turn of the century. So with the first tournament that happened in 2000, they called it B-Tri. And that would be a Virtua Fighter 3 team battle. What's that? And so there was a total of look like 12 Athena Cups, and since then it would have been labeled as B-Tri, and we're at the 19th since. But as for the, I was talking to Kamalanas, or writing to Kamalanas about fluctuating things in the match, going from 40 to 80 or 70 to 120. And so I was wondering if it could be playing against someone who was on Wi-Fi, so the ping fluctuate that much. Because I don't think I ever had a match fluctuate that much against someone that I know is on wire connection. Oh, can you hear me, Chanchai?
Yeah, I can hear you fine,
Okay.
yeah.
I just want to try to mute myself again. That's it. So yeah, I my guess is that if it's fluctuating that much, where it's a 50 ping difference, then it could just be might be a wired versus wireless issue there. But in general, I think like you mentioned also a league room. If you're playing a league room for people from past continent and stuff, a minimum of 3 or 4 would just generally be most would seem to be keep people not too salty.
Yeah, For my Tuesday sessions, I typically, because we have players from Hawaii up to like the Northeast to Florida, right? And so I usually tell them I recommend at least 3. Like 3 is reasonable, but 4 is actually probably more ideal for this type of group, And if you default to 4, at least you can kind of calibrate. And the nice thing about the adjustable thing is, I guess, in rooms like that, then if you know your opponent, you can kind of just move it back up or something against certain opponents. That isn't a little bit of extra fiddliness, but for some opponents, it's good to do that, just to get the better experience overall. But yeah. But getting used to rollbacks is a funny thing. Getting used to people that intentionally do one frame delay is a funny thing. But if you match your connection with the delay, it's generally much better. So, and I think more, our group has become more seasoned, and so more people kind of know where they want to adjust it with certain people.
Yeah, you could actually do that inside the room, just with delay settings. That's a nice feature.
I like that feature. Some people hate that you could do it. I think because it means if you can use something, you can misuse it, right? And so there's that idea that some people are going to be a jerk. But fortunately, in community rooms, we kind of, that's how we manage the jerk situation.
There's a standard, right? Yeah, that people expect to. Yeah.
Well, because it's a community and we can just kick people, right? But when it's of course, ranked is different, and it is a big topic. Most people's experience, we're now in an era where most people's fighting game experience is actually ranked, and this is a very different type of communicating. Becomes a little different, like communicating effectively and encouraging the experience. Because ranked is very convenient, and it's really nice when it works really well, But it's also, if it's your only experience, though, that might be kind of a limited view of both the game itself and of how fun or unfun it can be. It's just one of many modes.
And with the Steam community, you can't actually message someone unless you're actually on your friend list.
Yeah.
So it does make the it's one thing that you could simply communicate easier on PSN in that sense. But because I can understand why, because people could just.
It's because in the past people got into harassment a lot, and at some point you're just
a lot too,
right. Well, the most notorious was Xbox, right? But even before that, World of Warcraft Barons chat. Before that, EverQuest chat, right? And then before that, VFDC. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you take the good in with the bad, but the challenge and why eventually platforms take away the communication on the open communication is because it does get bad. There is the bad.
I'm quite sure I do think that they still are tinkering with the rollback settings.
Yeah. I hope they keep continually trying to improve it. I do think each month it's gotten better, But of course, if there is also the hardening of the group, right? The filtering, right? And what's the filtering? The filtering is the people that stay are the people that are having a tolerable experience to them, Sometimes the degenerates just come and go, though a few degenerates will always stay. But yeah. But Sega has been continually improving Revo, and that's wonderful. I'm really grateful for that. And it looks like they haven't stopped. It looks like they're still working on it, especially when they announced the replays not long ago. I will be heading out soon because it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And in America, it's Mother's Day. I know different countries have a different day of celebration for Mother's Day. And today...
Australia is today also.
Happy Mother's Day.
According to Susana, it's always May 10th. So it doesn't have to be actually Sunday or Saturday. It's May 10th.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be cleaning myself up for, my wife's used to me being all messy, but my mother is not, so, So today, everybody on my stream got to see, Chanchai after the Beat Tribe celebrations, just like, look like a real mess. But I look like a mess most days anyways. It's all fun. Very nice. Hutchko, welcome back. It's good to see Hutchko back. They've got a very good going. Right now, I think they're teaching a lot of lessons.
Yeah, he joined last weekend, and so I'm not familiar with Hutchko, but he participated last weekend, and add him to the group. So hopefully, when we do these sessions, he's able to participate.
I feel bad. I do want to fight with them, but I'm also like, I need to get ready for Mother's Day. But I'm gonna Hutchko, keep coming back. I'm gonna fight you. We're gonna have good battles.
Don't upset your family.
Yeah, like mothers. Well, don't upset mothers, right? That's always the worst. There's a lot of sins in this world. One of them is upsetting your mother.
Well, I do have one question for you. It's just, I was going to ask you since you're playing as Koraku. In Fight Kingdom.
Yeah, please.
Because it was like was it the first round when you guys were playing against each other? It was very close, and then he accidentally jumped out of it.
Okay, this is a good topic. Revo.
Was it the first round?
It was it was after the reset. So after the reset, he reset the bracket. So he reset the bracket 3-0 against me. So he reset the bracket 3-0 against me. I do have my take on it, but it's fun to let that drama play out. Like the drama is much more fun than like the reality of like the decisions to play a certain way.
I must have missed the part where he reset the bracket.
So he reset the bracket because he did 3-0, right? He 3-0'd the first set of the grand finals. And
I missed that part where he actually.
So after the reset, that's when we play on Genesis. Now, to be honest, I was not surprised at all that he jumped out of the ring on Genesis. And somebody might wonder why I'm not surprised. Jumping out of the ring in Genesis on Revo is actually, it's not that it's super common, but I've seen it a number of times offline and online. And in the case of Konraku, in this particular case, it's because of the black blending in. So at the angle the screen is at, the floor, you know how like the wall that is formed by the stage, right? That thing is all black. So when you're looking at it, yes, you're seeing, if you want to logically process it, you're seeing that you're standing on the square that looks like a Tron square because it's got an orange outline, orange light lit outline on black, right? In theory, this would tell you that you're at the edge of the ring, that you're in the very far tiles, the outer tiles. But when we're fighting, that's not what we're thinking at all. Like, I've seen many players backdash out of the ring on Genesis, on Revo. It's different from Ultimate Showdown. Ultimate Showdown is more gray, if I think so, and I'm not sure if it does the Tron outline as much. But on Revo, it really stands out. Like, that black is really black, and the orange is really bright orange. And so what happens is as a fighter, it's on your periphery vision. So, like, I know that like players have said that I have a very strong ring awareness, but even then, I've jumped out of Genesis myself. I've done it because of that exact reason. Now in this case, it's different from Konraku, because sometimes what happens is you're looking at the stage at a different angle, and so you're looking at the background. But for some reason, that orange outline on the perimeter squares is the tiles are telling, like, they're supposed to tell you that you're near the ring out, but your brain just doesn't process it that way, especially after Ultimate Showdown, because it just doesn't look the same. But Revo's Genesis stage does that. Now, Konraku did get upset, but they handled it really well. They played with a little tilt, but it wasn't the worst tilt, but it was a tilt. They still played super sharp. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I wonder if that's why that match after he winged himself out.
Yeah.
I feel like he got wing out a second time later on by you, or is it?
Well, okay, so I go on that stage. A lot of ring outs happen, and actually the whole tournament, my ring out game has been really strong against everyone. even in the first set, I got a few ring outs, but in the second set, I got a ton of ring outs, right? But I also got rung out quite a bit. There was a lot of ring outs in that last set. So I would say when people say that he should have changed the stage, I agree, but it would be more like, does he need to change the stage type? Not exactly. He's very good. He's good at ring outs, but I do think I'm a little better. I do think I'm a little better at him at ring outs, but I think he's really good at ring outs, and he's really good at wall too. He did tell me later though that the reason he refused to change was because when he fights Rental Animator, he says Rental Animator's Leon like just bullies him at the wall. And so he just didn't want to deal with the wall bullying, and that is part of my game too. But I think he's got a better read on me, right? And so I'm not disagreeing with him about that. What I would have said is if he wanted to keep the same stage type, switch to Lao stage just as a mental reset, just as a breath of fresh air. It's the same stage, right? It's just different colors. But also less chance. And then you can ignore the whole "I'm going to jump out of the ring" thing. But for me personally, it wouldn't have bothered me. I wouldn't have flinched from jumping out of the ring because I've seen it happen. And I'll just kind of laugh it off because I've seen it happen like a lot to my opponents and to myself. I didn't happen a lot to myself, maybe just a couple times I remember, but it's happened. It's definitely happened where I backdashed out of Genesis stage. But I think it made a great story. I thought Koenraku played awesome. And I mean,
the loser brackets aside was impressive, and I mean, I played
his whole tournament. His whole tournament was really impressive. Even the matches with LD Wells when he did get eliminated was really impressive. LD Wells, I'm gonna upload it later because I record it with my phone. But LD Wells made a really sick play when he eliminated Koenraku, or when he knocked Koenraku into the losers bracket. And that was like basically LD Wells' health was really low, and basically while Koenraku was almost like near the ring out zone, he wasn't that close to it, but he was going to try to poke LD Wells out to win, right? And LD Wells did the freaking like Lei Fei, like that guard breaks, that stagger, that because it's a hopping low, so he hopped over the low punch and guard broke Koenraku, and then did K plus G into P to ring him out, and it was just like, what the hell? I'd never seen that thing used to hop over a low to do the stagger to ring someone out. It was insane. But it was really fun to watch Koenraku figure out how he was going to fight LD Wells. So I'm tempted to upload both battles, the pools match, and then also combine it with the losers finals match, because I think you can kind of see Koenraku building the read, Koenraku adjusting his game, and start to fight stronger and stronger as each game goes against LD Wells' Lei Fei. But LD Wells is a very strong player. I think LD Wells is highly underrated. I think people look at Lei Fei and they see the forced guessing game that Lei Fei can do, or the knowledge check game that Lei Fei can do, and they dismiss it. And there's good reasons to kind of look at it that way. But in the case of LD Wells, he actually has very good Yomi, but he can also play very patient and defensive. I just might think that I'd like to see him be able to smooth between those two modes better, but I think he's really strong at both. And so when I'm going to tournaments, like when I went to SakuraCon, and also even during Fight Kingdom itself, when I went to training mode, it was almost always practicing against Lei Fei, because I was worried a lot about LD Wells blowing me up, because if I'm careless, he's gonna uppercut me out of the ring. He's gonna destroy like half my life, And so I think it showed, because I think during the tournament matches I played really, really strong against LD Wells. So yeah. I was definitely worried about Koenraku, and going into the grand finals, I actually told myself to play with the less strong strategy against Koenraku. I said, I'm really happy with how sharp I'd been playing up to that point, and I definitely felt good energy, but I felt like I wanted to be sharper. And so I was like, I'm coming on the winner's side, so I can afford to lose three. I can afford to lose a few games, and so against Konraku, I do think he's playing really sharp, and I saw all these sidekicks he was doing against. Now he was doing against XTN because XTN was using the chop, and he was using sidekick against LD Wells because if you evade Lei Fei and you evade the right things, then Kage's sidekick is going to destroy Lei Fei. That's why he was doing sidekick. But I'm watching these matches and I'm seeing sidekicks a lot, so I was worried about backdash. I was really worried that a mid-range game, I might need to be even sharper than normal to fight that. And I felt sharp, really sharp, but I wanted to be sharper. So I told myself, I'm going to try to fight Konraku on up close. I'm going to try to fight him really up close for at least the first 3 games. And I'm going to play much more forward. It's dangerous. I will probably lose, but if I win, that'll be wonderful. But I'm probably going to lose doing this. But I also want to watch how he plays. I want to learn his game more, and I want to get a lot of interactions. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with how I played it, actually, doing that, even though I lost 3-0 before the reset, right? But that was my mindset going in. But I also said, look, once I do this, if it doesn't work out, I think I'm going to play the game that's stronger. I'm going to play my mid-range game, but I think I'll be much sharper, and I think it'll work much better, too. It's not a grand strategy, though it plays out like one, but my thinking was just I want to be sharper, and I really want to learn. I want to get more comfortable with how Konraku plays, And so I think it worked out in the end, and I think I had a very strong performance after the reset. And I think even before the reset, actually, I'm very happy with a lot of parts of my performance during that, even though he wins a lot of the critical guesses, blows me up, and I don't escape forward throw enough, but he does a really good job of mixing up throws. And for some reason, my instinct doesn't just try to escape forward throw against him. I don't sense the threat of 10-foot toss from him. I sense that he wants to win throws decisions, so he mixes it up a lot.
I don't remember in Ultimate Showdown or previous version where I would get a 10-foot toss out of the wing from the start of the stage.
Okay.
But Konraku did that, and I was like, oh, shimata.
I see. So he does do that. But when I fought him...
so I learned, okay, Ace in Rebel, Kage can toss me out at the very beginning after he just get one move close to me. And,
I see.
Yeah, so...
Because when I fight him, I sense that he mixes it up a lot, the throws. So I'm like, okay, we'll play this way, and I sense that that the conditions have to be very particular for him to actually try to ring you out with the throw, But I do think sometimes he's going to change that. I think he'll do more 10-foot toss later because he'll probably see how much he actually was able to get that against me, So we'll see. But it was a lot of fun. And also, Nala made a really good point about Genesis or Revo on PC, is that walls are just less transparent in Revo. And I do think that's true, too. I think the transparency effect that was added into Ultimate Showdown, in Revo, I actually don't really see the transparency effect that much. So I need to pay attention more to see how that looks in Revo.
There was some complaint about that, how Ultimate Showdown did it. At first, it was completely missing, right? There was no. It was invisible at certain angles.
Correct.
And then they put that mesh look to it that some people was complaining about.
They added it in. I don't know if it was 6 months, but maybe 9 months after the game had come out, that they added in the transparencies. It was definitely a big concern for both Dennis0201 and I, because we're like, that transparency was really important, so that you didn't, so you knew where the wall was. Because it was completely invisible, so the wall just disappeared at certain angles. So it was kind of hard to know that if you're going to get a wall combo or not, or if you were under that threat. So they did add it later into Ultimate Showdown, and I think they said it was hard to put in because Final Showdown, it was just baked into the engine or something, or it was built in from the start. And so in Ultimate Showdown, there was trouble with. For whatever reason, they had trouble doing it, and they needed extra development time to do it.
I think with the PlayStation hardware specifically, because I think someone mentioned the esports version in the arcades. How they did the transparency. It looks good, but on the PS system.
Yeah. It definitely has like a super aliased look, and it kind of looks like the Sega Saturn transparencies actually, which were not the great. Sega Saturn was bad at transparencies, so whereas PlayStation had really beautiful transparencies. PlayStation had shifting textures, but transparencies looked good. Saturn, didn't have as much issue with the shifting textures, but the transparencies looked bad on Sega Saturn. So yeah, but well, thanks for the question, and but I will say though that I feel that in Revo it happens much more often that people accidentally ring themselves out on the stage, and but like on Ultimate Showdown I don't see it that much. Like we kind of know that the ring out's there, and so it could just be also like people's PC setups might just have very high contrast ratio. I know KDC said that was the last one for them. I am probably going to jump out. Combucks, I do want to fight more, but I'm going to just put it on VFTV while we chat a little, and then get to family. But yeah, Fight Kingdom was a blast. I'm really happy that we did the Waseda style for team battle on the Friday. So I don't know if you watched that, but the Waseda style is so much fun to play.
I didn't watch it, but I know the Waseda format. We did try that also, and then some of the early 4-on-4 tournaments that was done for Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown that the Japanese did. It's like I said, that's how I got introduced to it. But yeah, it's a little bit different, and it gives more people more matches. So.
Yeah, it gets more matches. There's a cool drama with it, right? Because you got the process of eliminating, but it's also the initial. You can kind of game the lineup too, right? You can put like your second best guy as like the first player, It's interesting strategies that you could do with the lineup because of that format. And so but it also creates high variance on how it looks, but you will get to see more matchups. I like that, right? Getting to see more matchups is cool, and I think Waseda style allows that. And so if both teams seed their lineup from like what they perceive as like by strength, then I do think like you'll for sure you'll have an interesting tournament for that way. But also but no matter how you seed it, there are interesting matches. You'll just see more matchups with that format, unless it's a 5-0, But even if it's a 5-0, you got to see 5 different unique matchups. It wasn't just watching one player dominate, right? So that's what I like about the format. And I think I definitely want to try to do more team battles like that at some events, offline and online. So.
Yeah, with the online Friday session, we did 3 or 4 sessions with the Waseda style. So there's a lot of different ways we could do team battle. We don't necessarily have to do like the traditional way that the Japanese VF does, but I do think in the long run, if we could get team stuff work out for people and people can do it, I think it's beneficial for the community.
I think so too, and I do think that Waseda style is really cool. Like I think it's pretty hype online, or I think it could be, and so I think. If you're able to get that going again, I think people really dig that format too. We could even make people like vote on the lineup. You could Twitch participate, run a poll, and see who's going to be in the A slot, who's going to be in the B and C and D and E slot. I think that would be a fun way to do it too, for each team.
I'm not sure. Is Chief Flash still planning to do his team stuff?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. We'll see. I mean, if he does, yeah. But I think the thing is, he's waiting for the new VF. So I would expect him to do a reaction video to the direct. I would expect him to complain the game's not out yet, but I think he's going to talk about Wolf, which I think is great, and hopefully he'll talk mostly about Virtua Fighter and the gameplay. But I think for real content, I think he's just waiting for the new VF game before he.
Yeah, I know he's saying that he hasn't played this game for a while now. He's just waiting for a new.
Yeah.
I think now it's somewhat in the same situation, just waiting for a new game.
Yeah. So there are rumors that a certain player affiliated with him has been playing on Revo and under a new name, but that's just a rumor. But it's fun. so we'll see.
Hilarious outtake.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's from a player from West Coast.
Really? So some people think it's East Coast. We'll see.
Based on the connection ping and stuff, and then I've seen him ping with someone from the mountain.
Yeah. I do know who is online fraud though. That's West Coast, but yeah. I do know that online fraud is West Coast. So, you know.
I'm not familiar with that person.
Okay, I'll let you enjoy the mystique. It's fun.
It's fine. I try.
It doesn't really matter. I was like, these things are dumb. It's just fun to play. So you know. All right, you have a good one.
All right, go celebrate Mother's Day with your family.
Yeah, I got to do the Mother's Day thing. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to your mother and to your sister.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be celebrating with them tonight. I should be ending this soon, but it's again. I'll just go quickly. We had Beach Tribe.
Yeah, I think I'm going to send people to Desepi Swag. So we're going to raid Desepi Swag because they're King of Fighters content creator, but they've supported VF nonstop, and they're talking about the direct. So let's. I'm going to send them that way. You can send whoever you like, but I'm giving a shout out to Desepi Swag.
Okay, I'm just going to finish off with this the VF direct stuff, and then I'm going to call it a day.
Awesome. You should definitely cover we need Akai'S coverage of the VF Direct stuff. Everybody stay tuned and support Akai talking about the VF Direct.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just doing this so that I practice talking anyway. But yeah, we had the VF Direct today. I know. I think everyone got fooled a little bit because they introduced Luke Hartfield earlier, and then so we kind of didn't expect some of the news. But it was nice to see. Actually, if you look at the people were calling it the J6 symbol tattoo. If you look at the concept art,
yeah,
it is that the swirls.
I see.
If you look at it, yeah. But that pack, I just wonder. Yeah, I guess that will be the background story that they'll go over with in the game. Which basically the main thing with the new VF project that this VF Direct went about is this. Trying to say that they'll put more time fleshing out people's background and origin story within the game itself. So I think a lot of people were one of the complaints that people would like to see is a more fresh out of the storyline. So that should keep those fans happy. And then we were also introduced to the art director, Ryo Shibasaki. I think he's from RGG. And so he kind of give us a little bit more details. But I think the main thing, of course, is that it is going to be released on multiple platforms, rollback netcode, and crossplay. I don't think anyone would have guessed that. I mean, reasonably expect that would be the announcement. That was more of just hope on Opium. So thank you, Aoki, for doing this. So no date yet. And then we have also the lineup of the offline tournaments to qualify. First one will be in Combo Breaker at the end of this month, with 240 players. The next one will be, I think Sega specifically will be organizing it in Tokyo on July 6th.